Silence speaks louder than words. Have you ever noticed how silence has a presence of its own? It's powerful, commanding, and often says more than any words ever could. In a world where everyone is eager to speak, to share, to react, silence becomes a rare and precious gift, a gift that holds the potential to shift outcomes, deepen understanding, and spark real growth. Silence isn't weakness, it's strength in its purest form. It's the pause before the leap, the calm before the storm, and the wisdom that anchors us when chaos surrounds us. Today, let's explore why silence often speaks louder than words, and how mastering it can transform the way you live, connect, and achieve. Let's dive in. The power of observation over reaction. In a fast-paced world where reactions are instant and often impulsive, the ability to observe before responding is a rare and invaluable skill. Silence, when used wisely, allows you to become an observer rather than a reactor, offering you a clearer understanding of people, situations, and even yourself. This power of observation transforms silence into a tool for insight and wisdom. When you choose silence over an immediate response, you create a pause, a moment to step back and evaluate the situation without the cloud of emotion. Silence allows you to look beyond surface-level reactions, letting you focus on the underlying truths that words and actions may attempt to hide. For example, when someone criticizes or provokes you, your initial instinct might be to defend yourself or retaliate. However, responding with silence gives you a moment to assess their intention. Are they trying to project their insecurities onto you? Are they genuinely offering constructive feedback? This clarity only comes when you choose to listen instead of react. Silence is also a powerful tool for reading people. In conversations, silence can make others reveal more about themselves. People often feel compelled to fill silences, and in doing so they may share more than they initially intended. As you observe their tone, body language, and choice of words, you begin to understand their true intentions and emotions, far beyond what they outwardly express. Moreover, silence gives you the space to reflect on your own thoughts. In moments of quiet, you can evaluate your emotions, challenge your assumptions, and align your responses with your goals. This inner dialogue, born from observation rather than reaction, helps you stay in control and act with intention rather than impulse. The power of silence lies in this ability to turn down the noise of the world so you can hear the voice of your own reason. Consider this. Silence also commands respect. When you speak less, your words carry more weight. People begin to notice that when you do choose to speak, it's deliberate and meaningful. This adds depth to your presence and makes others view you as thoughtful and composed. Silence, in this sense, amplifies your authority because it demonstrates confidence and self-restraint. The reason we associate silence with more significant people. In life, opportunities often go unnoticed because we're too busy talking or reacting to truly observe what's unfolding around us. Silence enables you to see the opportunities others miss. Whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, the ability to observe without reacting immediately gives you the advantage of perspective. Mastering the art of observation through silence is not about suppressing your voice, but about choosing when and how to use it for maximum impact. Silence isn't passive. It's an active, intentional choice that positions you as a learner, a strategist, and a person of depth. In a world that values quick answers and loud opinions, be the one who observes. Be the one who listens deeply, who sees clearly, and who responds with purpose. That is the power of silence. It allows you to step back, see the bigger picture, and act not just based on emotion, but with wisdom, clarity, and strength. Control equals strength. True strength isn't displayed through loud words or impulsive actions. It is shown in your ability to remain composed and controlled, especially in moments of conflict or challenge. Control over your emotions, words, and reactions is one of the greatest demonstrations of inner power. When you master this control, silence becomes your ally, showing others the strength of your character without the need for explanation or think about it. In a heated argument, the natural tendency is to react instantly, often driven by emotion. Words spoken in haste can escalate a situation, damage relationships, or lead to regret. But when you choose silence, you assert control over yourself and the situation. Silence in such moments is not an act of retreat. It's a decision to maintain your power and not let external chaos dictate your behavior. It sends a message that you're grounded, thoughtful, and not easily swayed by fleeting emotion. When you remain silent in challenging situations, you communicate strength without saying a word. It takes far more courage and discipline to stay calm and composed than to lash out. Those who are reactive often appear weak or out of control, while those who choose silence radiate confidence and self-assuredness. This silent control creates an aura of respect and authority rather than a follower of emotion. Silence also prevents you from being manipulated. People who lack control over their emotions are easy targets for those who wish to provoke or exploit them. When you react impulsively, you give others power over you. But when you remain silent and composed, you maintain control over yourself and deny others the ability to influence your state of mind. This kind of self-mastery is what separates the truly strong from those who merely appear strong. Silence allows you to process situations more effectively. By pausing and controlling your reaction, you give yourself the time and space to think critically. For instance, in negotiations or decision-making, silence can be a powerful tool. It keeps others guessing, gives you a chance to evaluate your options, and positions you as someone who operates from a place of thoughtfulness and strategy rather than impulse. Another key aspect of control is understanding that not every situation requires a response. Silence can be your shield, protecting your peace and energy from unnecessary conflict. Responding to negativity, criticism, or provocation is often a waste of your time and emotional resources. By choosing silence, you send a powerful message. I value my peace over the need to prove myself. This level of control creates a life where your focus remains on your growth and goals, not on unnecessary distractions. Silence and self-control have a ripple effect. When you demonstrate composure in the face of chaos, it can inspire others to do the same. You set the tone for those around you, showing them that strength is not in shouting the loudest, but in staying calm, thoughtful, and centered. This impact is particularly evident in leadership roles, where your ability to maintain control can influence and uplift entire teams or communities. Now it's our turn to develop this skill. Controlling your words and reactions gives you freedom. When you are reactive, you are at the mercy of external circumstances, but when you are silent and deliberate, you free yourself from being controlled by others or by the situation. You reclaim your power to decide how you want to respond and how you want to show up in the world. Silence is not just the absence of words. It's the presence of strength, discipline, and self-mastery. Control equals strength, and silence is one of the most effective ways to display that control. When you choose silence, you choose clarity, purpose, and power. Remember, the strongest person in the room is often the one who doesn't feel the need to prove it. Action over empty words. In a world full of talkers, it's action that sets you apart. Words alone, no matter how powerful or persuasive, are meaningless without the follow-through of deliberate and consistent action. Choosing silence and focusing on results instead of promises shifts the narrative of your life from empty declarations to a legacy of meaningful outcomes. We live in an age where it's easy to make promises and share aspirations, whether it's on social media, in conversations, or even in our private thoughts. However, words without action dilute credibility. Promises made but not kept weaken trust and create a pattern of unfulfilled potential. When you rely on action instead of speaking prematurely, you shift the focus from what you say you'll do to what you actually accomplish. Actions carry a weight and authenticity that words can never match. Consider the phrase, "Actions speak louder than words." This timeless truth illustrates that what you do has a far greater impact than what you say. When you consistently deliver on your goals, people notice, even in silence. Your achievements will speak volumes, and you won't need to justify or explain yourself to anyone. Silent effort, paired with visible results, builds a reputation rooted in reliability, determination, and excellence. Take, for example, the workplace. Imagine two individuals. One constantly talks about their goals, their plans, and their intentions, while the other quietly focuses on doing the work, delivering results, and solving problems. Over time, it's not the loud promises that garner respect and admiration. It's the quiet consistency of the person who lets their work speak for itself. Silence in this context becomes a mark of professionalism and focus. Another reason action outweighs words is that it creates momentum. Talking about goals might feel good in the moment. It can even trick the brain into feeling like progress is being made, but it doesn't move you forward. Silent action, however, builds momentum, step by step. Each completed task, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goals. Over time, these consistent efforts compound into major achievements. Silence also shields you from unnecessary distractions. When you vocalize your plans too early, you invite opinions, judgments, and unsolicited advice, which can often derail your focus. Some people may even discourage you, either out of doubt or envy. By keeping your intentions private and focusing on action, you protect your goals from external interference and stay aligned with your. It's important to note that silence doesn't mean you lack confidence or direction. On the contrary, silence paired with action demonstrates self-assurance. You don't need to announce your every move because you trust that your results will speak for themselves. This quiet confidence draws people in. They begin to recognize you as someone who doesn't waste energy on unnecessary chatter, but instead channels it into meaningful efforts. This helps you to build relationships with others, helps you realize your goals. They help. Focusing on action over words teaches discipline. It's easy to talk about what you want to achieve, but it takes discipline to consistently work toward those goals, especially when no one is watching. Discipline builds character and separates those who dream from those who achieve. Every time you choose action over words, you strengthen your ability to stay committed to your goals. There's also an inspirational quality to silent action. When others see you quietly working toward your goals, it inspires them to do the same. You become a living example of what's possible when you prioritize effort over talk. Your results motivate others far more effectively than any speech ever could. When you focus on action, you gain something invaluable: self-respect. Accomplishments, no matter how small, build confidence and a sense of fulfillment. You begin to trust yourself and your ability to follow through. This trust is the foundation for even greater achievements. As you realize that success doesn't come from promises, it comes from action. Silence and action go hand in hand. While words may be forgotten, actions leave a lasting impact. Choose to let your efforts and results define you, rather than your promises. Let your work speak louder than your voice. In the end, it's not what you say that matters. It's what you do that shapes your legacy. Silence builds awareness. Silence has an extraordinary ability to create clarity and build awareness in a world overwhelmed by noise. It is through quiet moments of introspection that we begin to understand ourselves, our surroundings, and the direction we want to take in life. While constant noise and chatter can blur our vision, silence clears the way for focused thinking, helping us align with our true intentions and sharpen our perception of reality. Think of silence as a pause, a space where the mind has room to breathe. When we constantly surround ourselves with distractions, be it the opinions of others, social media, or endless conversations, we leave little room for clarity. Noise drowns out our inner voice, the one that guides us toward growth, purpose, and truth. Silence, however, creates the opportunity to tune into this inner voice. It allows us to step back from the chaos, reflect on our choices, and evaluate whether our actions align with our goals. In silence, you can assess what truly matters to you. By stripping away the external noise, you gain the ability to distinguish between what is essential and what is not. This awareness prevents you from getting caught up in the trivialities of life. You begin to notice patterns in your behavior, thought processes, and relationships. You realize where you're investing your energy and whether it's serving your long-term goals or simply keeping you busy. Silence strengthens your ability to listen, not just to yourself, but also to others. Many people engage in conversations not to understand, but to respond. They are so focused on what they want to say next that they miss the depth of what is being shared with them. Practicing silence teaches you to be fully present, to absorb what's being said, and to connect with people on a deeper level. This ability to listen creates stronger relationships, built on trust and mutual understanding. Silence also enhances your emotional intelligence. In moments of quiet, you have the space to process your emotions without the influence of external distractions. You begin to recognize patterns in how you react to situations, what triggers certain feelings, and how you can better manage these emotions in the future. This self-awareness equips you with the tools to navigate life's challenges with greater composure and resilience. If you go into situations finding yourself, you're trying to get things done. Instead of reacting impulsively, you learn to respond thoughtfully, a skill that can transform both your personal and professional relationships. Silence gives you the ability to observe your environment with greater clarity. When you're not focused on filling every moment with words or activity, you start noticing details you might have overlooked before. You become attuned to subtle cues in people's behavior, shifts in energy, and changes in your surroundings. This heightened awareness can be a powerful tool in decision-making, problem-solving, and even innovation. For example, consider some of the most successful individuals in history. Their breakthroughs often came not during moments of intense action or debate, but in periods of quiet reflection. It was in the stillness that they connected seemingly unrelated ideas, solved complex problems, or discovered new possibilities. Silence gives your brain the freedom to think creatively, to explore new ideas, and to approach challenges from a fresh perspective. Silence also provides a space for healing. In a world that often glorifies busyness and constant productivity, taking the time to be still can feel counterintuitive. However, it is in these moments of stillness that you reconnect with yourself, recharge your mind, and regain your sense of balance. Silence allows you to release the stress, tension, and noise that accumulate in daily life, giving you the clarity and energy needed to move forward with purpose. Importantly, silence fosters patience and humility. It teaches you that not every question needs an immediate answer, not every challenge requires a swift reaction, and not every moment demands your input. By embracing silence, you learn to sit with uncertainty, to trust that clarity will come in time, and to respect the process of growth. This patience creates a sense of calm and confidence, as you realize that life is not a race, but a journey of continuous learning and self-discovery. Silence creates the opportunity to align your actions with your values. When you take the time to reflect, you can evaluate whether the life you're living is in harmony with what you truly believe in. Are your daily actions bringing you closer to your goals, or are they leading you away from them? Are you living a life that feels authentic, or are you trying to meet the expectations of others? These are questions that only silence can answer, as it allows you to strip away external influences and connect with your true self. Practicing silence is not about isolating yourself or avoiding communication. It's about creating a balance. It's about knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to act and when to reflect. Silence is a tool, a practice, and a mindset that helps you navigate life with greater awareness and intention. It's the foundation for clarity, focus, and purpose, and it's something that anyone can cultivate with practice. integrate silence into your life, start with small steps. Set aside a few minutes each day to simply sit in silence, free from distractions. Use this time to reflect on your goals, your actions, and your emotions. As you become more comfortable with silence, you'll find that it begins to permeate other areas of your life. You'll start approaching conversations, decisions, and challenges with a greater sense of calm and clarity. Silence is not just the absence of noise. It is the presence of awareness, clarity, and focus. It allows you to connect with yourself, understand your surroundings, and align your actions with your values. In a noisy world, silence is a superpower, one that helps you cut through the distractions and live with purpose. Embrace the power of silence, and you'll discover a level of awareness that transforms not only your perspective, but your entire life. You envision for a moment feeling the potentiality of those deep calls to contemplate, connect with yourself, and live a new life. When to speak and when to stay silent. Mastering the balance between speaking and staying silent is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Knowing when to voice your thoughts and when to hold back requires emotional intelligence, situational awareness, and self-discipline. This balance isn't about withholding your opinions or suppressing your voice. It's about understanding the value of timing, context, and the impact of your words. Let's begin with understanding the power of timing. Words spoken at the wrong time can lose their meaning or create unnecessary conflict, while words spoken at the right time can inspire, guide, and heal. The key is knowing when your input will make a positive difference. Imagine you're in a heated argument or discussion. Reacting impulsively might escalate the situation, but pausing to reflect before responding can prevent unnecessary misunderstandings. Silence in such moments isn't a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of maturity and control. Sometimes staying silent allows you to gather more information and understand the bigger picture. Rushing to speak can limit your perspective, as it's often based on incomplete information or assumptions. For instance, in a professional setting, if a challenge arises, speaking too soon without understanding all aspects of the issue can lead to ineffective solutions, or create the perception that you lack foresight. On the other hand, listening carefully and responding thoughtfully shows that you are methodical, considerate, and invested in meaningful outcomes. Silence can also act as a form of communication. It gives people space to express themselves without interruption, fostering an environment of trust and openness. In relationships, this can be incredibly valuable. For example, if a friend, colleague, or partner is sharing their struggles, jumping in with advice or opinions might make them feel unheard. By choosing silence, you offer them a safe space to process their emotions. Sometimes all they need is someone to listen. Not to fix, judge, or analyze, but to simply be present. Silence can protect you from unnecessary conflict. There are moments in life when engaging in an argument or defending yourself is futile because the other party is not open to understanding or resolution. In such situations, silence becomes a shield. It helps you conserve your energy, avoid feeding into negativity, and maintain your peace of mind. It's important to recognize that staying silent in the face of unproductive conversations isn't about surrendering. It's about choosing battles that matter and disengaging from those that don't. Knowing when to speak is equally important. There are times when silence can be misinterpreted as agreement, indifference, or fear. In these moments, speaking up becomes essential to assert your values, boundaries, and beliefs. If you witness injustice, staying silent could enable harm. Speaking up, even if it's uncomfortable, shows courage and integrity. It sends a message that you are willing to stand for what's right, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. Speaking up is also vital when it comes to advocating for yourself. Whether it's asking for help, setting boundaries, or asserting your needs, your voice is a tool for self-empowerment. Silence in this context can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, or missed opportunities. If you remain silent when your contributions are overlooked, your workload becomes unmanageable, or your ideas are dismissed. You deny yourself the recognition and respect you deserve. Knowing when to break your silence ensures that you're not only seen but heard. The key to striking the balance between speaking and staying silent lies in self-awareness. Start by asking yourself a few questions before you decide to speak. Will my words add value to the conversation? Am I speaking to understand or to be understood? Am I reacting emotionally, or have I taken the time to reflect? Is this the right moment to express my thoughts? By answering these questions, you give yourself the space to make intentional choices about your communication. Another important factor to consider is the context. In some situations, like brainstorming sessions, speaking up with raw, unfiltered ideas might spark creativity. In others, like moments of personal conflict, silence might create room for both parties to cool down and reflect. Context determines whether your words will bridge gaps or create divides. Cultural and interpersonal dynamics also play a role. In some cultures, silence is seen as a sign of respect, while in others it may be interpreted as indifference. Similarly, in relationships, one person might value verbal affirmation, while another finds comfort in quiet companionship. Understanding these dynamics helps you tailor your approach and build stronger connections. When you do decide to speak, focus on the quality of your words rather than their quantity. Speak with intention, clarity, and purpose. Avoid the trap of speaking just to fill the silence or to dominate a conversation. Remember, your words are an extension of your character. The way you speak, your tone, choice of words, and timing says as much about you as the content of your message. Practice active listening. Silence isn't just about withholding speech. It's about giving space to truly hear what others are saying. When you listen without interrupting or planning your response, you gain deeper insights into their thoughts, emotions, and intentions. This not only helps you respond more effectively, but also strengthens relationships by showing that you value what they have to say. Knowing when to speak and when to stay silent is a skill that requires practice and patience. Silence, when used wisely, can demonstrate strength, self-control, and wisdom. Speaking, when done with intention, can inspire, educate, and advocate for positive change. The balance between the two is where true communication and connection lie. By mastering this balance, you'll not only navigate life's challenges with grace, but also leave a lasting impact on those around you. Continue. Silence and speech are not opposing forces. They are complementary tools that, when used effectively, can elevate your life and the lives of others.